Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and today I am going to do a team building guide for this Dokkanfest Tech Bardock. So what I like to do in these team building guides is I'll do this typically when a new Dokkanfest drops on Global, but what I like to do is I like to talk about who their best linking partners are, and then I like to talk about some of their best team builds, and then if they have like a really expansive category like Bardock does, I'll show like one or two team builds, but then I'll just say like, hey, here are a bunch of ridiculous rotation units you could run. Here are a bunch of other good supports you can run. And you kind of just build your team yourself from there, right? But I definitely have like what I feel like could be like one of the better builds for this guy in this video, right? So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look here. So we're going to start with just who are Bardock's best linking partners and the most relevant units I can think of, right? So I am using a placeholder. This is not actually AGL Tora. I do not have Int Tora, but Int Tora I'm using this as the placeholder for that. So imagine this is the new banner unit Int Tora, but he's actually the best linking partner you can run. He's supporting. So if you really want Tech Bardock to look like really crazy good, you'd run him on rotation with Int Tora, right? Some other good linking partners, all of the free-to-play Bardock squad, they all link really well with him. So depending on who you want to run, you could run any of them. This Tech Tora is decent. He's a support unit. But most of the free-to-play Bardock squad, they're going to get crushed in red zone. So just keep in mind that if you are running some of these, that it's going to be for more casual content, not like the super, super top-end stuff, right? Now, if you're running really hard content, I think Physical Fascia is a really great on-rotation unit you can run with Bardock. She can sit in slot 1. Tech Bardock can be in slot 2. Really, really nice combo. But yeah, Physical Fascia is a fantastic unit. So she's one of the better ones you can run. This is a unit right now that'll get you killed. I just have to bring him up because at some point he's going to EZA. Now the question is how long is it going to take? But right now this unit will get you crushed. But the reason why this unit is significant is even pre-EZA, they are a 60% support for Tech Bardock. So if they EZA and they get like a lot more defense, and who knows, they could add even more support there. I really can't see them going above 60, but what if they did? This unit could be crazy, so just keep your eye on them. It's just right now they're not very good, but I wanted to throw them in there because technically if you want your Bardock to look the craziest, running them with this unit around is going to make Tech Bardock himself look his best. It's just this unit's going to be a liability to get you killed. Physical Bardock, I think, is a really great linking partner here. He's a support unit, has guard, fairly good defensively, just a very solid unit you can run with them. And then once again, more free Bardock squad, so I'll throw out Int Fascia just because she's got dodge and she does support when dodging. So if you're desperate, you could try Fascia in slot 1, hope the RNG gods are on your side. If she dodges, she gives a very, very strong support when she does dodge and can make your Tech Bardock look really good, right? So let's hop into team builds. So I think I'm going to showcase two team builds here today. So this first team build is if you want to go with a very like Bardock-centric focus team build, right? So, and this would be like if you really want to focus on Tech Bardock is like your main on-rotation attacker. So we would have Tech Bardock on one rotation with, this would be Int Tora, and then the other rotation would be Tech Bardock with Physical Fascia. Physical Fascia, like I said, and actually a really good, fantastic unit. And then you could float these other Bardock support units, right? So Super Saiyan 3 Bardock definitely needs to be mentioned. Very good unit. Like him in slot 3, 50% attack support. Once again, I talked about this unit. Once again, this wouldn't be like a red zone build. You would have to slot in something else for this guy if you want to try red zone. But they're going to make Bardock look really good. And then this Physical Bardock. Honestly, this team would be red zone viable with the exception of this guy. So, and once again, in this video, you're going to see a ton of other units you can put on his team because he has a very good leader skill, right? So we're looking at storied figures and Goku family. And then if you want the 200-ish Pure Saiyans, which a lot of the units you're naturally going to put will be Pure Saiyans anyways. So there's definitely other things you could slot in for this if you actually want to go into red zone, right? So that being said, my next team build is going to be what I would actually build as like a good top tier competitive team build for like really hard content. And the thing for Bardock is I personally see Bardock as more of a floating unit. To me, he doesn't put up good enough offensive and defensive numbers to be like my main focus on rotation. So the value I see in Tech Bardock is the Scouter and the utility that he gives from that. And having 5 turns of that is actually very impactful because a lot of hard content won't go far beyond that anyways. So it's basically like ensuring you've got Scouter. And to me, I know you're sacrificing like a support slot for that, but to me, it's worth it. And to me, Scoutering is supporting. So I think it's very, very good. So because I see Bardock as a floater, my build I'm going to show you considers Bardock as a floater, and I do 2 main top tier meta rotations, right? So if we look at this team build here, I would be floating Tech Bardock, and then I think I would be floating this Carnival Goku because they're a really good support unit. And then what I would do is I would do a rotation of AGL Gohan and Tech Carnival Goku, okay? Because they're just like a ridiculous god rotation, insanely good. And then I would actually do a rotation of Physical Ultimate Gohan with Path the Power Kid Goku. Now, for all the complaints people have about Physical Gohan here, what people agree on is if he gets his key, he's very good. And to me, Path the Power Kid Goku really solves the problems that Physical Ultimate Gohan has because he's going to orb change for him. I've done several runs with these two together as a rotation. They actually share like 3 links together. I think it's 3 or 4. They actually link fairly well. And he's orb changing, which is exactly what that Ultimate Gohan needs. And I have always gotten really good luck with my orb changing. I've always had really nice fields for Physical Gohan. And he gets his good attack stats, he gets his additionals, and he looks really, really good. So on this type of team build, that's the way I would run it. Now, Path of Power Kid Goku, you definitely could float him if you want to. This Carnival Goku, you could definitely run on rotation like with the Gohan if you wanted to. But to me, if I, just looking through basically Bardock's categories, when I went through my box, this is the team that stood out to me. Like, if I'm going to take a Bardock team in the red zone, this is the team I personally am going to run. Now, that being said, Goku Family and Storied Figures has a lot of coverage. Storied Figures is really just covering, like, Tapion and Minosha and then, like, Bardock Squad stuff. But Goku Family, we all know, is, like, a humongous category. The other thing to keep in mind is if you want, like, full 200%, you wouldn't be able to run like the Gohans because the Gohans are getting 170, but they're definitely good enough under 170, right? They don't need 200, but that's just something to think about. If you want full 200, you want to run like all Gokus pretty much. So now instead of team builds, I'm just going to show you like a bunch of units that are good enough to run if you wanted to. So for example, Super Saiyan God Goku on Global. I don't think he's easy 8 yet on JP. This guy's really good. Like, I really, really like this guy, Goku. So you could run him on rotation, and you could say, like, Tech God Goku with him, right? Well, actually, they're not going to link, but Tech God Goku could be a floater, right? This guy, Goku's still going to link good enough with just any Goku, pretty much, you want to throw out there. It's fine. He's going to dodge. He's going to put up nice numbers. Int God Goku's really good, right? Tech Ultimate Gohan. Crazy enough, still a really good unit in the game. It's amazing what stacking with Guaranteed Guard does for you. But yeah, Tech Ultimate Gohan is a unit you could run and feature. I'm going to throw Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku on there. Now, he doesn't Easy A on Global for a while, but since we know what his Easy A looks like, I'll say, yeah, this is a unit you could throw. I'd probably use this guy more as like a floating orb changer, but he's definitely good enough to be on rotation. Very nice unit in that Super Saiyan Goku. And I do like this kid, Garlic Jr. movie Gohan. He's still a very good floating support unit. So those are some other options you could run there, right? So anyways, and there's like other units, like just because I didn't mention a unit doesn't mean they're bad. There's still plenty of units that I maybe didn't mention that do work on Bardock's teams. But for me, just off the cuff, I'd say these are kind of my top team builds for Bardock right now. So once again, if you want to do the very Bardock-centric one, you could do something like this. Obviously, you could mix and mingle any of the units I've talked about. And remember, AGL Tora is actually in Tora, not Grade 8 Tora. But yeah, I think this right here, if you're saying, Joe, what's my red zone team for Bardock, this is probably it right here. Obviously, you don't have some of these units. Like, okay, I don't have Tech Carnival Goku. I maybe don't have Physical Ultimate Gohan. Sure, swap in God Goku, right? Put in, maybe you want to put Super Saiyan 3 Bardock in. You could do Physical Super Saiyan. Like, Physical Super Saiyan Bardock is really good. I talked about him on that Bardock team, but he could slot over to this other team build, right? So when you're looking at this team build, it doesn't mean that it's like concrete, it has to be just these units. Look at all of the units I've talked about here. So anyways, guys, if you want more advice on how to build your teams, I do have a team building channel in my Discord. My Discord is listed in the description of all my videos. So if you're interested, feel free to hop in. So anyways, guys, hope this team build helps for you. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.